leaves are turning, there's a chill in the air. Campfires are burning, we're gathered round in chairs. 3 generations of hunting in our veins, talking about what might happen on opening day. Weatherman's calling for southwest winds, gonna have to change my plans. Guess I won't be hunting the power line, I'm moving to the boat seat stand. Sighted in my rifle and she sure is shooting straight, but I'll meet up with the jitters, y'all. It's opening day. I've been working all summer and it's sure been hot. The tractor tore up, but I planted my plot. Deer trail running through there looks like a highway. I got my heart set on that drop time buck. There's plenty of room in the back of my truck. It's been a long year, but it's gonna be worth the wait. It's opening day. 4 a.m. came early and we chugged that coffee down. Headed to the stand with my little man and he didn't make a sound. Sat there till 9:15 and no drop time didn't show. Saw a couple of squirrels, a fat raccoon, a possum and a doe. Then out of the blue came a cow horn spike and my little boy started to shake. But he manned up and took his very first buck on opening day. I've been working all summer and it's sure been hot. The tractor tore up, but I planted my plot. Deer trail running through there looks like a highway. I got my heart set on that drop time buck. There's plenty of room in the back of my truck. It's been a long year, but it's gonna be worth the wait. It's opening day. It's gonna be worth the wait. It's finally opening day. You better get out your gun, clean it up good and get in the woods. It's opening day.
So HeliHunt 2015 begins. Begins right here, August the 10th. A couple of weeks before we go, and I'm just walking home with the backpack, minus a couple of things, i.e. gun and bullets. Don't think the locals would appreciate someone walking around with a gun. So I'm halfway home, trying to put a bit of a pace on. It's pretty hilly up around here, so it's good practice. carrying about 25 kilos in the pack. So we plan to, with the gun and everything, plan to carry about 30 plus another 5 or 6 kilos of other gear. So it's pretty heavy. And we don't have to go far though. From the helipad to where we're camping's about 2.4 k's, and it's reasonably easy. So from my place to work's only 3.4 kilometres, but it's pretty hilly, a lot of up and down. So good practice. So yeah, this is the first video of HeliHunt 2015. Between now and then I'll make a couple more, show you some of the dehydrated food we've got provided and a few other little bits and pieces, so stay tuned.
Mist that comes off this. Well, the first time, because you were the first shot, I got wet.
Yeah, they did too.
I was standing right here.
Yeah, it got me right down the back of the neck it went. Should have known better.
You're not laughing at Michael Gola now, are you?
I was laughing at there. It's really fun. Like, stand up there. It's like so you see the huge.
Yeah, he's shooting at 200 metres. Yeah. Bullseye.
Hell.
Where'd that go?
To the right a mile. Like a long way.
Oh, is it?
Not even on the paper.
Hey?
Miles out of the way, buddy.
So maybe I was
And yeah, shitloads more.
only just on it.
You've only moved about 2 inches.
That's 10. That should
Don't put the cap back on.
Shooting at 60 metres there. Lyndon's got a bit of an issue with the accuracy of his rifle. Put the earmuffs on.
Good idea. There you go, that colour again.
another inch.
Oh, a couple of inches. I would say.
I reckon it's on the very top of the circle.
One more and we'll go have a look. I think there's a shit come out from the tree. I think you're on the right hand side somewhere, mate. Actually, I reckon you're nearly 6 o'clock under the circle. I can't tell.
This is what we've done at 400 metres. Got this nice life-size silhouette of a sambar. It's the best thing you can do if you want to practice long-range shooting. Is doesn't matter what game you're after. Make a life-size silhouette. It doesn't have to be a flash steel one like this, could be made out of cardboard, even butcher's paper, draw it on it. Yeah, so as you can see, you've got Wayne's 375 Ruger. There's a bloody ripper with a Nightfall scope on it, and yeah, those 2 shots are Wayne's, and that was mine out of his gun too, so spot on. And then the last couple of shots I had out of my 340 Weatherby are them 2, so I'm a little bit lower than I would like, but so I've got the crosshairs on about here for that, so really I've got to be just a bit above his shoulder, 400. Excellent, that's the way to do it.
Your hands start shaking, your heart gets to pumping, your knees get to knocking, and your mind starts racing. It's a feeling like you never felt before. Have you coming back for more? Buck fever, gonna get you, boy. Buck fever, have you praying to the Lord. That rat, that grunt, that snare, that stomp will make you a believer. And buck fever, ha. There ain't no pill, ain't no cure, ain't nothing like it. Yeah, that's for sure. If you ain't never come down with this disease, you ain't never climbed up in a tree. Buck fever, gonna get you, boy. Buck fever, have you praying to the Lord. That rat, that grunt, that snare, that stomp will make you a believer. Buck fever. Well, this afternoon, a monster buck come a-slipping in, and as when it struck, that bow felt like it weighed 200 pounds. I was shaking like a leaf, but I laid the smack down. Buck fever, gonna get you, boy. Buck fever, have you praying to the Lord. That rat, that grunt, that snare, that stomp will make you a believer. And buck fever, buck fever. Sweat it out.
Here we go, another adventure. HeliHunt 2015. So here we are. You wouldn't believe it, as you'll probably see in the video, I hope. Sometimes cameras don't do justice. But as we were coming into the landing area here, had a hind and a young one by its side. Took off into the bush, took up that way actually. It was awesome, that was great footage. I hope it turned out alright. Very ominous of a good week, I think. Now just wait for the other guys. Hopefully you can see me alright. There we go. Not real good. The lanyard needs to be a bit bigger. Oh well, about half an hour behind schedule. I dicked around this morning. This is the second morning. Yesterday, the same as last year, we spent the whole day yesterday hiking into base camp and setting it up, getting it all nice and neat and tidy, and collecting a heap of firewood, and that's a strategy that seems to work well, because the rest of the week goes nice and smooth. Then there's no dramas. So we did that yesterday, and I'm about half an hour behind schedule, as I said. I dicked around a bit this morning, or farting around like an old woman, but we're all good now. Just crossed the river, dry feet. I'm very happy about that. The Wiggy's weight has worked really well, unlike last year, so I'm all good to go. So I'm heading southwest of base camp today. It's a fairly big trek. I could probably walk somewhere between 10 and 15 k's today, up and down the gullies. So big day, especially for a first day. But those gully systems look really nice from the satellite images and the topographical maps. So it'll be interesting. Very keen to get in there and have a go. There's a lot of deer around, hell of a lot of deer. Saw 2 deer when I landed. Hopefully I've got that on this camera. I can't find it on the camera. Sometimes on this SIM card, on the SD card on this camera, it doesn't show up when you play back, but when you put it on the computer it does. So I'm really hoping I've got that, because that was awesome. So anyway, I'll check in a bit later, and hopefully we'll have a stag. Now, well, we're finally where we wanted to be. So I've climbed up about 400 metres in altitude. The bush has thinned out considerably now. I was sick of walking through dogwood. I reckon a pretty decent stag gave me the slip. Just down over by my shoulder there. Probably about 15 minutes ago. He was on to me. I was in the dogwood. He just had me. He had me good and proper, the bugger. Anyway, just sort of slowly walked. You could hear him walking around me. You could hear the dogwood brushing on his antlers and against his body. Couldn't hear his footsteps though. They're bloody cunning as anything. He was probably only about 20 yards off me, probably, going by sound. Yeah, the bugger. But anyway, he'll live for another day. I didn't bother chasing him because it's just too thick where I was. So we'll catch up with him, maybe tomorrow. So I thought I'd push on a bit, and I'm up to sort of where I want to be now, so a little bit more alpine sort of country. And I'll spend the rest of the day up here, and hopefully I'll have some more luck. Awesome, isn't it? These are the bits you don't see on those really flashy hunting videos. The rubbish you gotta walk through sometimes. It can be real disheartening. You just feel like quitting, turning around and going back to camp sometimes. At the end of the day, you gotta persevere. You just gotta keep pushing, and you find a good spot. That's the name of the game. Yeah, I'm getting sick of it though. Been doing this for a little while. I'm pretty much right up on top of the ridge now, and I really thought it would have thinned out by now. But no, not at all. Anyway, that's life. I'll keep pushing, and yeah, stick to the plan. I'll keep going and going. Eventually it'll pay off. Yeah, well, this sucks. Been at it for a while now. What's the time? 11:30. I just sat down for about half an hour and had a bit of a feed and a drink and a rest. Just still bashing through this thick stuff. It's bloody ridiculous. Really heartbreaking. It destroys your soul, really, this sort of stuff. But haven't been in here before, this part, and You don't know if you don't go. That's the way it goes. Plenty of deer in here. Just can't see in front of your face to hunt them. So just wasting your time really, but rather be here than being at work. So I just soldier on. I has luck sort of has it. I've walked all morning and sort of turned the GPS on to see where I am in regards to the base camp, and I'm only about 1.1 k's as the crow flies away from it, which is straight down there behind me. So I'm going to keep pushing that way, and should be able to come to another big gully, so my maps tell me, and I'll mosey on down there, and by the time I get down there and back to camp it'll probably be mid to late afternoon, so hopefully it gets better, and if not, there's always tomorrow. I've actually about 5 minutes after I had the camera myself there before it opened up. It was good. It was still a bit thick, but at least it was huntable, and really high, tall, thick bracken, which normally is reasonably easy to walk through. This was like walking through snow, but I can't complain after what I've been through. That was easy compared to that. So anyway, I've actually staggered up on an old, might have been an old bulldoze track when a fire come through maybe, or might have been an old snig track. So I followed that, and that's opened up onto an old vehicle track. So I know exactly where I am now, so I'm just going to drop a bit of altitude. I think I'll go back down, try and find a gully I can hop in and take it from there and mosey on back. I've still got, it's 1 o'clock, so I've got plenty of time. Yeah, that's deer hunting, I guess. There's a lot of deer in here. You can hear them walking around you. It's been that thick, you just can't hunt them. They're there, but yeah, you might as well be driving a D10 dozer through. Yeah, as I said earlier, it's a bit disheartening and makes you want to give up some days, but it's when you just got to dig your heels in and persevere, and sooner or later you bust out of somewhere, then you end up in a good spot, and that's the way it goes. You just can't give up. You just got to keep going and going. I've been walking for about a good 40 minutes, maybe, and it's still like this. It's terrible. It's a shame. So, all I can say is I am so glad I found this track, because I would be in there for days trying to get out. So anyway, keep moving. Well, it's about 2:30 now, and still going down this track, and that's still just as thick. It's quite incredible. I think I came up the easiest way for sure. I picked the easiest route, and luckily I stumbled on the track so I could come back down again. That is terribly thick. This whole side of this range just looks like it's the same, which is a bit of a downer because it's a fair area that I would have loved to have hunted. That's sort of putting a 25-30% of our hunting range out of scrap bin gone. But anyway, there'll be other opportunities. Can't let it get you down. Bit disappointing, but that's life. So I've got to drop another 100 metres of altitude, and I've got 200 metres to travel to get down to the main track where I need to go. Down, had a 5-minute break, took my boots off, give the feet a bit of a rest, because the old toes are poking in the bottom of the boots on the way down. So I thought I'd give them a bit of a rest, and just put my boots back on, did them up nice and tight again, and I'll tackle the last bit and head back to base camp, take it from there. Now here we are, day 3. Had no luck yesterday, as you know. managed to get back to camp. The traps were killing me on my shoulders. They were sore as buggery. Just from going through all that thick stuff, just fighting with a backpack on. Just dragging through it. It felt like I was pulling a 2 ton of weight behind me. So anyhow, I've decided to go north of where I was yesterday. It's marginally better. I don't know if you can get this on camera or not, but I'll try. Let's see, not as thick. Really nice opposite face there. I can't really see it. And it's, you can pick your spot. There's really good game trails through here. But it's just all the way. All the way, it's the same everywhere you go. So I'm decided to pull a pin, and I'm going to go back down the river flat and walk along the flat. It's a little bit warmer down there too, so as much as my determination and stubbornness wants me to go up and up and up to the head of this gully after yesterday's debacle, I think I will use my brain this time, and I think I will go down along the river flats and just keep poking up and down till I find a gully that is suitable. I think that's the wise thing to do. So I'll check in later. Pick myself a good little spot here. You can see a fairway either side of me on the river flat. Can't see much above me, it's all scrubby sort of stuff. But it's definitely a bit warmer down here. It's only 7:30, and I found yesterday it didn't really sort of get comfortable. The sun didn't sort of get a bit of sting in it till about 9:30, and the sun was well up, so which is interesting. As I said earlier, I just found a fairly good spot. So I'm just going to sit here and wait for a while, see what happens. And just using the iPhone at the moment. I've got the other camera. I think it got cut off before the SD card was full, so I had to do a bit of a deleting from previous shoots I've done over the last 12 months or so. So I've got rid of all the old stuff, and I've got more room, and I've got the camera rigged up on the side of the tree. I've got a special screw-in adapter, so I can use the camera or the spotting scope rather than a tripod. Works well if you've got a nice tree to do it in. And I've picked a really good spot here, so just going to sit here and wait for the sun to come up, see what happens, and keep doing that. We'll just plod along and find another good spot, sit down for a while, and yeah, just do that all day. Go along the river flats here. I could bloody walk for days if I want to do, so I'll just walk till I get sick of it, then I'll come back. So we'll see what happens. Not sure if that camera angle is going to do much justice to you, but I'll try and... I'm laying on the ground, believe it or not. That's how steep it is here. Come to a bit of a dead end. So I'm going to hop back down again without trying to break my neck. I'm going to hop over the river, and there's a nice gully straight over there, so I'm going to have a crack at that, I think. Didn't have much luck sitting and waiting. I thought I'd just follow this river along. There'd be some nice flats. And now she just choked up now. It's come to a dead end, so I yeah, changed strategy again. Well, that was a little bit nerve-wracking. What's it today? Saturday morning. Decided to follow the river wrong. I'll probably going up the river a fair way, probably, I don't know, probably be a good 6 or 7 k's from the base camp. And yeah, I just stopped to have a bit of a rest, sat down, I looked up, there's a wild dog looking at me. As you can hear him. Yes, this young fella here was stalking me. He got a little bit too close for comfort. So, I'm out of here. Explains why there's no deer. I put the wind up me a little bit. Now, normally I don't mind wild dogs, but at a distance. But he got a little bit closer comfort. He got within about 15 metres and he was still coming. Bold. Yeah. He got in my personal space. That was enough for me, so I let him have it. Wayne had a bit of an experience too, a couple of days ago. Yes, a lot of wild dogs in here, and that probably does explain why everything's so jumpy and sitting real tight in the thick stuff. Certainly not what you'd expect. You know, in the back blocks, deer tend to behave quite calmly. And yeah, these are jumpy as. They've had no hunting pressure for 3 months, I suppose, probably more. Yeah, so one would expect them to be fairly calm, and they're not. And I noticed for the last couple of days I haven't seen any fresh sign. I put a couple of deer up. They're sitting real tight. You can hear them move away from you. But certainly not coming out in the open flats. They haven't for a while. Maybe that's why. They're big dogs up here. And if there's enough of them, I'd pull the sambar down, no worries. Certainly a young one. If there's enough of them, I'd pull down a fully grown hind, I reckon. Yeah, so that's my adventure for today. Ears ringing. So I got the muzzle brake on. We sighted the guns in with a muzzle brake there the other week. It's at up to 400 metres. So I decided to leave them on. And I've got earplugs in my pack. But when you're taking a long range shot, you've got time to get your earplugs out of your bino case here. And not this time. Yeah, it all happened fairly quickly. So I was up here, just about ready to cross the river for the 6th time when I saw him. So now I'm going back. I've crossed the river a couple of times already. And yeah, 3 more crossings to go. I'll be back at camp and I'll have some lunch, I suppose. Think about what I'm going to do this afternoon. Sit and wait somewhere. And spoke to the chopper pilot last night. It's just not what we expected in here. We're all extremely disappointed. There's a lot of deer in here, a lot. Not to the point where they'd probably be a problem. But the regrowth from the fires, which I'm not sure when were, I'm going to do a bit of homework on that. Because it looks like it's been a long time. And the trees haven't regenerated. All the dogwood and all this wattle shit and blackberries, all that ground foliage stuff has exploded. But the gums haven't regenerated at all. Just the ones that survived the fire, and that's it. which is makes you wonder how, will the bush ever recover to the point where it was before the fires? Makes me think not. And the ecology's changed for a long time at least. Just a shame. Anyway, there's another river crossing for me. Beautiful river, isn't it? Magnificent, God's country. tricky takeoff we got there. And away they go, back to Mansfield. So it's about an hour turnaround for me, so I've just got to sit here and twiddle my thumbs for an hour. And yeah, another heli hunt comes to an end. Yeah, well, it's been another exciting adventure. Some probably not exciting as some adventures, but anyway. I'm due to get picked up in about 5 minutes. And this is the closing statement, I suppose. Even though you don't have much luck, you go into a new area and you prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And yeah, sometimes you just luck out. That's deer hunting. And yeah, ran in some pretty memorable stories, I suppose, with wild dogs and feral cats and the like. There's no shortage of deer in here. There's an amazing amount of deer. It's just that they're all hidden up in the thick stuff. They're not how would you say, they're not very behaving like you would expect deer to would behave in the back blocks with no pressure on them whatsoever. Which leads me to believe there's a lot of wild dogs here. There's a big mob just over my shoulder here. There's a big mob over there, and there's probably other mobs that are just giving them hell, I think. They just don't want to come out of the thick stuff. And they just seem so jumpy. They don't tolerate anything like you'd expect deer to have no pressure on them. They just, yeah, as soon as they even see an odd shape in the bush, they honk and they're off, sort of thing. It's a shame, really, but that's the way it goes. That's deer hunting. That's what makes it worthwhile when you've got a nice deer on the ground, and it's that 10, 20 hunts beforehand that have been unsuccessful, and that's what makes it worthwhile. It's the journey getting there, and this is just part of it. And nothing's ever guaranteed in the wild northeast alpine areas. So better luck next year. We'll go to a different spot that's probably a little bit more hospitable for us. And yeah, another chapter closes. Thank you for watching. And as I always say, thanks for watching, and here comes my ride.
to get them dogs in the box. Get up early on the weekend. Get out there in the woods. Try to jump your old big buck. Maybe put him on your wall or something. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Have you ever dumped a box on a big old buck? Have you ever knocked a mirror off your brand new truck? Have you ever left your dogs in the woods for days and hit the old water hole sideways? Have you ever dumped a box on a big old buck? Have you ever knocked a mirror off your brand new truck? Have you ever left your dogs in the woods for days and hit the old water hole sideways? Got the walker dogs ready, about to bust the gate. 5 o'clock in the morning and I can't be late. I got a fresh bag of chew up in my dash. I gotta stop at the store for some beer and some gas. Cause I'm ready for a buck chase. Hell yeah, I make my own dough days. Hell yeah, got an old shotgun full of 3-inch mags and an old lemon dog that can damn sure track. They done jumped in the pine rows. Let's go, gotta get there quick cause he done crossed the old cut road. Yes sir, got my boot on the gas and a whole pack of dogs is burning his ass. We swerving through the pine trees. Yes sir, they yelling on the CB. Can't hear a word. We riding through the woods, dogs lighting him up. That's how we do it in the club when we running the bug. Have you ever dumped a box on a big...
I haven't seen a shooter buck in 2 weeks sitting on stand. But every time I hear a twig break, my bow's surely in my hand. I got the best deer hunting woods on the south side of town. The temps are falling and the leaves are changing. I hope old mossy back comes around. But I'm waiting on a drive time, waiting on a big old buck, waiting on a deer that you see about once a year. That goes 150 Pope and Young. And if I see him tonight, you know I'll let one fly. But if I don't, the spirit ain't broke, I'll be just fine. Just waiting on a drive time. Just last night, my buddy Jimmy saw a buck dog and a doe. Might have been just a little 4-point, you know them bucks are ready to roll. So tip on over that Primos can, the pre-rut setting in. The big old bucks will be on their feet, I'll whack one if he comes in. But I'm waiting on a drive time, waiting on a big old buck, waiting on a deer that you see about once a year. That goes 150 Pope and Young. And if I see him tonight, you know I'll let one fly. But if I don't, the spirit ain't broke, I'll be just fine. Just waiting on a drive time. Just might be the answers to my prayers to see a big buck standing out there. I've hunted so hard since opening day, wishing that a big buck would just walk my way. But I'm waiting on a drive time, I'm waiting on a big old buck, I'm waiting on a deer that you see about once a year. That goes 150 Pope and Young. And if I see him tonight, you know I'll let one fly. die, but if I don't, my spirit ain't broke, I'll be just fine. Just waiting on a drive time. Oh yeah, waiting on a drive time,